Hey there. It's Saturday, April 9th, 2022. I'm at the Wildhorse Casino, just outside of Pendleton, Oregon. I'm about to play in some cash games today. Yesterday, I played in a $230 buy-in, no-limit hold'em tournament, and I also played in some cash games. Now, I didn't do very well in either of them. Kind of a letdown on the day there. Busted out 3.5 hours into the tournament, and ended up down in the cash game, by $86. So, overall, not horrible, in the cash game. Never really got anything going in either of them. So I really ran, pretty cold all day, picked up very few hands, very few playable hands in the situations I was given with the action at the table, the people I was playing against. The tournament started out pretty early on. I picked up pocket kings, and there was a raise before me. A couple people called, I re-raised, everybody folded, and I went ahead and showed that hand. Then not too long after that, a little bit later, but not too long, I picked up pocket aces. Basically the same thing happened. I didn't show that hand, and from there on, I really picked up. I really didn't pick up much that was playable. I did have a couple moves that I made. People folded their hands, and then but I never got my stack up. We started with 20,000. I never got my stack up beyond 24,000. And the blind just kept chipping away at me. I did get into a situation with a guy. I was big blind, he was small blind. A couple of people called around. The flop came down 9, 8, 7, 2 hearts. I had ace 9. The small blind bet. I raised it, folded the other couple callers in there. The small blind called. Turn came down. It was like a 4 of diamonds. He checked. I bet out about 3/4 the pot. He called it. The river was like a deuce of diamonds. He went ahead and bet the pot. I thought about it, and then I ended up folding my hand. He showed, and he had 10-9 of diamonds to make a flush. So he was open end on the flop. Turned in with a pair, it turned into a flush draw on the turn. He ended up with a flush. That knocked me down to about 18,000. The blinds chipped away at me, and then came into a situation where I had ace king, and I ended up making a move that was kind of iffy. I don't think it was horrible overall, but it really wasn't. I didn't have to make it at the time I made it. It really wasn't extremely called for. It was a little bit aggressive. I just chose to go ahead and make a move there. I was down to an M of 11, so that means I could basically withstand another 11 rounds of at the blind limits where they were. So I was getting into that area where I had to be aggressive and try to get something going, or I would end up being eaten away here pretty quickly and be in the danger zone. I got an ace king. Like I said, I had been running cold, and I feel like maybe I felt a little, hey, here's a time to make a move. I was in the big blind. There was a raise by a guy who had tended to raise a lot, tended to also call people's raises really light, even if they were big raises. He had been winning money, so he had a pretty decent stack. He raised it, got a couple callers. I put in a really big raise. And he called and everybody else folded. So I had 10,000 left, when the flop came, queen 10, deuce, and it was a rainbow, and I had 10,000 left, and there was a little bit over 10,000 in the pot. So I stuck my stack in. I felt like I was in good position against this guy. There's a few hands that he could have, aces, kings, queens, even pocket tens, that put me as a real issue here, a real solid underdog. But there's a lot of cards he could have had, pocket nines, pocket eights, pocket jacks, even stuff like that, where I was still I still had good outs. In many cases, he could have been in there with just two suited cards the way this guy was playing, even against me, and and so it really wasn't too bad of a call. But as it turns out, he had pocket queens. He flopped the queen. He wasn't going anywhere. I put my whole stack in. My only outs were jacks to make a straight jacks income. I got knocked out of the tournament. So yeah, I wasn't too happy with my decision there, but part of my unhappiness might be based on the outcome of the hand. In the cash game, it was really kind of similar. I came in, I won a pocket, or I had a queen nine hearts, my very first hand. I was in late position, several callers. I called, the flop came down. Everybody checked around. Then the turn card came. Everybody checked around again. I went ahead and bet, and everybody folded. So that put me up about like $35. From there, I just ran pretty much like ice the rest of the night. I did end up with so there was a lot of raising, a lot of guys just throwing in just pretty sizable raises. There were two guys on the table that had about $1,000 sitting in front of them. This is a 1-3 no limit cash game. They had about 1,000. I from listening to them and hearing them talk, what happened was they both bought in for the max 500. They ended up both losing that at some point, rebuying for another 500, and so they really weren't up. They were basically had bought in for what was on the table in front of them, and so they had about 1,000 each. Now these guys really wanted to be aggressive and were ultra aggressive. But they were also almost ultra aggressive madmen where they weren't going anywhere. So they're putting in $25 bets pre-flop on a 1-3 no limit game. And I just ran like ice and never really got anything. I did have one ace jack of spades in late position, big raises, but a lot of people in there. I went ahead and called. The flop came down, gave me a spade draw with a gut shot, straight draw. I had like $80 left in my stack. There was like a $100 bet and a call. I was getting the odds to call it, so I called, and I got lucky and caught a spade on the turn. It held up. I tripled my stack up, and then really from there it was just downhill. That was all I got, and it just ate away at me. Making some calls, never really getting any hands. I got a lot in like things like 9-3, 7 deuce, 10-4, jack 6, all offsuit, that kind of stuff. So ended up walking away from the table, 86 down. Kind of disappointing day, which leads me to how I did as a Christian, and that turns out to be kind of disappointing too. So my day was disappointing. I'm here to, reach out. I'm here to, try to have conversation with people, try to talk to people, try to engage in spreading the gospel and talking to them about Christianity and getting to that point. And my day just kind of led me to not really wanting to do that, and which brings me to this thought, this lesson of how I'm walking as a Christian. Here I am letting the day's events influence me as a Christian, and I'm being pushed around. And this isn't saying that my internal Christianity is wavering there in those moments. I'm not thinking to myself, boy, where's God in this? I'm just letting the things of the day affect me. And instead of looking to God, and remembering my hope and my salvation in God, and how much He's provided for me, and how much He continues to provide for me each day, and how much He loves me, and to think about those things, I'm letting the effects of the moment get to me and wear me down, and so my outward Christianity is affected, and so I'm not portraying that in those moments. So no, I didn't really engage in conversation with anybody yesterday. I started the day like that, and then I just kind of fell into this rut where I withdrew. I was letting the things get to me. I didn't feel like reaching out. And I really need to remember, when things are going bad like that to me, when I'm feeling these things happen to me in the day, and this isn't just poker, this is anywhere, this is at the store shopping, this is at work, this is with my family. I really need to look to God. It's not something that I can turn around myself. I can't say, you know what, things are bad, Chris. Let's just have a good outlook. I really need to look to God and pray and be like, God, I need you to boost me up here. I need you to help remind me what I have in you, and help keep me on mission. If I'm just going to be outwardly Christian when things are going great, what benefit is that? And so, part of my running bad all day yesterday may have been about teaching me this lesson so that I could share it with you. So today I'm in a cash game, waiting for that to start. Should start here about 3 or 4 o'clock. And I'll play till about 9 or 10. And I'll let you know how that went. So God bless you. Hope you have a great day. And thanks for tuning in.